Is your printer giving you so many problems that you're ready to throw it through a window? Well, stop. You've come to the right place. You don't need to be a computer technician to follow the easy steps I'm going to be showing in today's video. I use these same troubleshooting steps all the time with clients here at My Computer Works to get their printers running. But just remember, if you don't want to follow these steps, you want an easy way out, don't forget the number for My Computer Works is always down below at the end, the beginning of the video. You can always give us a call. We'll help you out. And while you're down there, hit that like and subscribe so that you can get more content like this, free how-tos and troubleshooting steps just like this one to get things working again in your technology life. Thanks for watching, and let's jump into it. I'm going to show you how to fix any printer, any problem on Windows 11, no problem. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is identify the printer model. So I have a printer here, and I haven't used it in a long time. In fact, I haven't really used it in a really long time, but it's going to be great for the example. We're going to identify the model. Now, on this one, I got pretty lucky. It's right on the front. Your printer, you might not get so lucky. You may have to look on a sticker on the back and identify the printer model. Once you have that information, though, this is key. We're going to go online to the manufacturer's site and we're going to find that information. Okay, for example, I had this HP. I'm going to be going to the HP support page because there's two vital things we need to check before we do anything. If we've moved to a Windows 11 computer or any changes have been made as far as our network or computer topography go, there are two things that we need to check first. They could be the answer to why our printer is not working. The two things we're looking for is compatibility for our operating system, okay? So what does that mean? That means if you have a Windows computer and you're on, let's say, Windows 11, we need to make sure that this printer works with Windows 11, especially if you've moved to it. You could save yourself a lot of time if your printer ends up just not being compatible with the new computer or network changes that are made. You might just have to bite the bullet and get a new printer. So we need to check that it's compatible with our operating system. Usually in the manual, it'll list the operating systems that come with it. Now, if you're having trouble finding the information, you could always run a Google search, type in your model into Google, say, is it compatible with my operating system, Windows 11 or Mac Ventura or whatever your current operating system is. Go ahead and put it in there, check the compatibility and see if it's compatible. If it is, you're good to proceed to the next verification, which is network compatibility. So you have operating system compatibility, which is the operating system that runs on your computer. Then you have network. So that's going to be your actual internet, the router that you're going to be connecting the printer to. Now, all of this applies only to wireless printers. So if you're planning on using wireless printers, you want to make sure that it's compatible with the network, okay? The operating system, that's separate, but network, if you are going to be connecting it to Wi-Fi, you need to make sure that it is compatible with the network band you're using. Now, that's tech jargon, and I'm sure you're confused and wondering, what does that mean? Well, you have different network bands, okay? 2.4 and 5 gigahertz network bands. That means that some devices are going to be on one or the other, or you might have a dual channel. There's a lot to this, but at the end of the day, all you need to worry about is my printer compatible with 2.4 and 5 gigahertz, or is it only 2.4? And if so, what kind of network is my computer using? So if your computer is using a 2.4 gigahertz network connection and your printer is only compatible with 2.4, you're going to be okay. But if you're using a 5 gigahertz network and your printer is not 5 gigahertz compatible, you're going to need to figure out an option like turning on the 2.4 band so you can use it, okay? So this is important, and this is where things get kind of complicated. But if you just kind of piece it together and find out what network type you're using, you can do this by going into your settings and looking at your network properties on your actual network connection in the Wi-Fi settings, or you can call your internet provider and check to see what is going on. Do you have 2.4? Do you have 5? Can you turn them both on? Are they combined? Are they separate? This is important information when it comes to printer on your network. These are things you need to know. And if you don't know them, you're going to run into issues that you don't know how to fix. So if you're having absolute trouble getting your printer on the network, there's a good chance this could be the issue and you need to look into it further. Find out what band you're using, what your printer's compatible with, and then make sure that the two are the same and that's what you have set up. If not, you may need to use a printer USB cable, so a cable that actually runs from the printer into your computer. Okay, so now that we're confident that our printer is compatible with both our operating system and the network band we're using, and I know things got a little complicated there. Again, that's why you can always call us if you need help. But as long as we know that these two things are okay, we can proceed to the next step, which is drivers. Now we need to install drivers for the printer. Quick overview on drivers. This is the software that allows the printer to communicate with our computer properly. So they're very important. It's not something you want to skip. Now, earlier, we talked about that support page online. Like for example, this is an HP printer. So on HP support page for the printer, I can download the drivers. Now, many times for HP, it's important to note they use what's called the HP Smart app. They want you to have this installed, especially if you use things like Instant Ink, which will require you to have this software and require you to be signed into your HP account so that they can verify you're allowed to use the cartridges. That might be another issue that you're running into if it's an HP printer and it doesn't want to print with the cartridges that are in there. Make sure you have the HP Smart app installed and you have your account signed in that has the HP Instant Ink account set up, the subscription, so that the printer reads it and knows that it's okay to print. If not, it could stop you in your tracks. If you're using non-HP Instant Ink carts inside of an Instant Ink cart printer, that could also cause issues. So look into Instant Ink if you have an HP printer using Instant Ink and make sure that you satisfy everything there. Now for everybody else running Epson, Canon, Brother printers, you're just going to simply go ahead and go to your page, get the drivers, and a lot of times it's nice. These drivers are bundled with setup packages, status monitor. Like for Brother, you can get a status monitor to see the status of your printer. Epson has a similar one that goes into your taskbar and lets you manage the printer and see what's going on as far as ink. Is it connected, and what's actually going on the printer's end. So it's important to look through the support pages for your printer and see what software they offer. Things like Easy Connect, diagnostic tools or repair tools for connection, things like that. These are good to have, and you should check to see everything that is offered with your printer in case you need any of these tools later down the line. But in the beginning, the biggest thing is just getting the initial driver or driver and software package that is offered from the support page. Make sure that this is from the official manufacturer website that made your printer. Do not go through third parties to get these driver and software packages. It should be directly from the manufacturer of your printer. So if you have an Epson, it's from Epson support. If it's Brother official support. HP, same thing. Do not go outside of those lines, or you could find yourself in the danger zone. So now that you have the printer drivers installed and the software set up, everything should be looking pretty good. But you need to jump over to your Windows settings. Now what you want to do is hit Windows key and R on your keyboard, type in Control Printers. This will take you to the Control Printer section where you can ensure that the printer is showing up. Now if it didn't automatically out itself during the driver and setup package that you ran, you can always hit Add Device and it should show up. Now, many of these driver and software packages also work for USB. If you plan to use a USB cable, they will usually have an option for that during the setup. Or if you just want to use it because you prefer it, that's also an option. Or if you ran into network issues like we talked about earlier, maybe you don't have a 2.4 band and you can't turn one on for some reason, or it's broken or whatever's going on, you may need to use a USB cable. They're usually pretty trustworthy when it comes to printers. That's honestly what I do with mine a lot. Plug it in, it's very reliable, and then I just print when I need to. So that is always an option. Again, if you need help, down in the description below, you will find the number for My Computer Works. We help with printers all the time. I know there's a number of issues out there and a lot of different things that you can do I didn't have time to cover in this video. Things like setting static IP addresses for your printers, which can help with network connections. You might not have known that was an option, but you can. You can actually do things to help improve the connection of your printer to your devices so that they're not dropping off all the time and you're having connection issues like that. So there are advanced things you can do like that. We may cover that in future videos, but for today, I just know it's tax season. I wanted to help people have a way to get their printers up and running if need be, or have some troubleshooting steps they can take, like installing those drivers if they're missing, again, USB cable if you really need to go that route, or again, those software packages that offer those different programs that maybe will tell you what the issue is. Sometimes they have repair tools, and that might be all you need. So hopefully this video helps out. If it did, drop down, hit that like and subscribe before you go, and I will see you on the next one.